What's up, y'all? This is Reina Williams.
And I am JB the Jeweler.
And you are now tuned into
Somebody Come Look at This. He knows when you're hitting that record button.
Okay, well, this is episode 8. And Garbanzo he decided he wanted to be on the mic.
Yeah, he knew when you were hitting that record button.
Yeah, he did. He came running in.
He was going the other direction, and then as soon as you hit that button,
he switched directions.
He came right here. He's ready.
He's ready. I ain't ready for him, but I'm never ready for him. So what's going on, man? How you been? Did you just have a birthday? Happy birthday, JB the Jeweler.
I did. Thank you, Raina. I appreciate it.
Garbanzo, say happy birthday.
I appreciate it, Garbanzo. Thank you very much. It was a great day. Birthdays for me have always been kind of weird.
Yeah.
Because it can be kind of a somber day sometimes. Mm-hmm. Because it's like, oh, no, sometimes you get those thoughts of like, oh, it's another year. What are the things I didn't do that I wanted to do? Man, time's flying by. Holy shit, how old am I now? Oh, God.
Right.
What's coming down the pike?
Right.
And also,
you got to get that AARP card soon.
God,
One step closer.
Yeah, right? You start looking at the different things. I forget, there was something else I looked at the other day.
You started looking at minivans?
Yeah. You might as well start looking at minivans. I think I talked yesterday to my friend Nat, who we both know, gave me a wonderful gift. And I remember just admiring the frame that it came in just as much as the gift. It was a nice, solid frame. And we talked about that. I was like, man, as you get older, you really appreciate a good frame around something. I've already spoke to about admiring the lawns. But anyway, yeah, it was a great birthday. Spent the day with the girlfriend. She made it a fantastic day.
Nice.
She really celebrated me and we went to the Liberty Science Center.
Oh, I love that place.
Yeah, out in Jersey City. And that's another place. I think I spoke about us going to the Museum of Natural History not too long ago.
Yeah.
And we went to the Liberty Science Center. It's another place I hadn't been to since like middle school.
Yeah.
It's one of them class trip type places.
Yeah, for sure.
Like a lot of people will be like, oh, I haven't been there since the class trip. And we went there. We went hung out there. And the main thing we went there for is like I've always been interested in the Titanic.
Oh,
Ever since I was a little kid.
Wow.
I was always like drawn to the Titanic, the ship, the of course the tragedy of it. There is a bit of morbid curiosity,
right?
And just the stories of it, and I mean the amount of people. I mean over 1,500 people that lost their lives, going on what they thought was a simple little trip, a little vacation,
right?
Some people have suggested that and this is if you're into this sort of thing. The jury's still out with me, but it's a cool idea. Reincarnation.
Oh, I was thinking that as soon as you were like, I've always been upset. Yeah, that's the first place my mind went.
Some people have told me, because I think back now and I'm like, Jesus, a 7-8-year-old kid.
Oh, yeah, no, for sure.
Being like super interested in the Titanic.
You had a past life for sure.
To the point where I like was watching documentaries on it. And
oh, yeah.
I wanted to visit museums on it. Like I wanted all the information on it. I played a game.
Yeah.
I think it's called like Passage in Time or something like that on the computer. This was in the 90s where you go through the ship and you even go to the sinking. And I think the story of the game is you're like an undercover agent. You're trying to solve this mystery on the ship that has to do with the Titanic but not have to do with the sinking.
Right.
And then you just end up in the mix of things. And yeah, I've had multiple people tell me, they're like, maybe you've been reincarnated on the Titanic, which is a crazy idea, but...
Yeah, I mean, have you heard any of these stories, different stories about parents whose kids are like...
Yeah, they come back.
They remember
they remember, yeah.
They remember stuff that they shouldn't know. And there was one woman who... Shut the hell up. Sorry. There's one woman who went as far as like... I don't know if there was like this... She entered a study, her child into the study, and they went as far as like... The little boy was like... I'm from this village in some foreign country that his mother had never been to, father or whatever. He knew the name of the village. And they were like, all right, we're going to go there. So they took the trip there. Yeah. And he knew exactly where he lived.
Yeah, they'll know like
landmarks. There's like another one about...
And...
Yeah, there's another one that's really crazy. There's this kid, and he has this birthmark. And his
That was a
mother
good one.
one day, yeah, that was a good one. There was one day his mother said that he started having like these dreams and saying like, I used to be a soldier, I was a soldier, and like, I used to be brown. And she was like, what? He's just a little white boy talking about, oh yeah, I used to be a black soldier in whatever Civil War or something like
His
that.
mother was like, I'm taking away all your NWA tapes.
Yeah,
You did not used to be brown. You live in Cambridge, Massachusetts.
Massachusetts. And
Your name is Ronald.
Ronald. No, his name was Joshua, but I don't know what his name was. But
Shout
apparently,
out to my grandfather Ron, by the way.
Yeah, get it, Ron.
Shout out.
And no, but apparently, like they went to the place where he said he was from, and he was like, "That's my grave." And then turns out they started digging up the records of the guy, and the guy was like enlisted in the thing, and he was married, and he got killed, but like somebody like axed him in the back, or the same place where the little boy has the birthmark was the place that the person that he said he used to be got the blow that killed him.
Wow.
And so it's like, when you say that, Titanic, I'm like, oh yeah, you was on that boat.
Yeah.
Like, because when you, and the thing about those past life things too is like the older you get, then you start to forget. So
Yeah.
like when there's little kids and if anybody out there listening, they got kids, if they ever say something really strange to you about someplace they used to be from, or that, like, if you look it up and it's not like some made up shit, then if you feel like exploring it, I think that you should, because the kid is just going to be obsessed with it. And depending on how healthy the obsession is. My obsession used to be Egypt. That was mine.
Okay.
So I'm like, and then I had a guy one time, this dude, this indigenous elder that I know through the Taino community in New York area. This guy named Angel. He came by when we used to live at a different place, and he was, we were doing like some spiritual work, and he was like, I definitely see like you in like one of those like chambers, like in a pyramid, and like there's all these like priests around you, and I'm like, that's wild that he even said that. Like I didn't really know him, like at all. Like I met him once at a thing. So yeah, there's definitely like, I feel like validity to it. People could be like, oh, this bullshit. I mean, it is what it is.
Who really knows? Nobody really knows.
Yeah,
nobody
knows. But I know that there's enough like interesting cases of people's history. Like there's this one guy, y'all could look this up. What is his name? He founded that they have this network, Gaia Network. It's like a TV. David Wilcock, that's his name.
Okay.
David Wilcock.
That sounds familiar.
He's got blonde hair, and he started doing like these speaking engagements at colleges and stuff like that about like paranormal and like psychic stuff, because he basically has determined that he is Edgar Casey reincarnated, and Edgar Casey was a really famous psychic like back in the day. And this is where it gets weird. If you go find a video of this guy, he'll talk about it. But he says that, like, first of all, the picture of Edgar Casey and this guy, uncanny. This guy in present time, his girlfriend in high school looked just like Edgar Casey's wife. His father was like this, basically the spitting image of Edgar Casey's father. Like he had all of these things in his life where it was like, it's almost undeniable that this guy is probably who he thinks he is.
Lining up.
Yeah, so I just feel like everybody meets for a reason. That's why when you meet somebody, especially when you connect with them, like my wife, like I told her, I really do feel like we keep meeting each other and like finding each other in different lives.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like the familiarity and the fact that, like, when I was running in the New York City streets, not really, but like my dad was working in the city and I was like a kid, I was literally like 2 blocks from her at any given time, And so it's just interesting, like, when you meet people and you connect with people, especially like, oh, I feel like I know you forever. You probably have.
I've met people like that. I've definitely met people that I feel like I've known before, or somebody I've met for the first time that I feel like, me and you have had a connection at some point in the past.
Yeah.
But I'm also going to go back to the day. when I walked into the exhibit, they had an exhibit, a Titanic exhibit, which was the main reason I wanted to go. She got me a great gift of this book, this illustrated history book that I had when I was a kid.
Yeah.
That I told her about and I showed her. She actually got me a brand new version for my birthday. And I lost that book some years back when my family moved out of a house we had that I kind of grew up in as a kid. And yeah, they had a nice little exhibit, and you get a little boarding pass when you enter.
Oh, wow.
With a person that was actually on the ship and their story. And mine was a woman. It was a Dorothy something, and she was an actress. She was a silent film actress.
Oh, wow.
Back in the day. I have a picture of it here, actually. I'll see if I could. Who did I get? I got Miss Dorothy Winifred Gibson. She was from New York. She was 22 years old. And she was with her mother in Italy on a vacation, and they were going back to New York to begin her next movie.
Dang.
And so they booked passage on the Titanic. I was first class, so I knew I wasn't dying.
Bougie.
And so, yeah, and it shows you their story. And I'm not going to lie, this is going to sound crazy and sound a little corny, but when I first walked into the exhibit, they have like it set up like you're walking onto a little path onto the ship, and they have bags around it that are like something they'd have on a ship. And I got this feeling over me. It was like almost emotional of like, and I had to kind of like catch myself for a moment because I started looking at the pictures on the walls of the people, and I started to imagine them. Like, you ever seen those pictures where they take an old photo and they put it to motion?
Yes.
And it like looks at you and it
Yes.
smiles. I started to see the pictures, and I didn't actually hallucinate that they did that. But in my mind, I was imagining them all just like as people.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we see like a black and white photo.
Yeah.
And we forget that was an actual person that was living. And I was like imagining them just as people living and moving in color and everything like that. And yeah, they showed like they had a first class cabin that was a complete like replica of what would be on the ship. Oh,
wow.
And they also had like a third class cabin. They had all different facts about the Titanic. Like, I learned that the Titanic was crazy expensive. Insanely expensive. Like, they put it that a third class ticket on the Titanic.
Yeah.
Take a guess how much you think a third class ticket on Titanic would be in today's money.
In today's money?
Third class ticket. You're going to be in a room with 3 other people you don't know. You're on bunk beds.
Today's money.
In today's money, how much you think a third class ticket on Titanic would be?
Like 4K?
Okay. You honestly, then the Titanic would be cheap for you, Reina. It would be cheap for you. You'd be okay. It was $900 in today's money for a third class ticket.
Yeah.
And then it was, for a first class ticket, it was $57,000.
Bro, that's not even how much like a first class ticket on a cruise now is. Like, you talking about really penthousey cabin. Like, I'm just going by on the cruise that we were supposed to go on the end of this year, and I know that the main rooms, nice rooms, like 10,000. So I mean, but it's funny that you say that, because I was thinking when you were telling me, I'm like, yeah, they made a big deal about this boat, unsinkable, but they built that shit like an ice cube tray, bro.
Yeah.
Like, like the thought, I get the thought behind it, but you're not thinking about physics ahead of, okay, this one chamber fills up, oh, well, it's gonna be sealed off. No, because it just leaked over the top, boom, 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 and the weight of the water changes. Like, that whole situation, I remember watching a movie, and I know it's like a movie reenactment, but have you seen now that they have these new images of the Titanic?
What, like under the water images?
Oh, yo, they went hard. Like, they have been like mapping the surface and all the parts of it with like this, new hyper new technology.
Okay.
And it's gotten so detailed, and like to the point where like they got rivets and like text and like, it's just amazing. I know since you're a Titanic buff, I feel like that would be interesting for you to see.
So are they're like reconstructions of like the rooms, or?
No, basically like they've, like, if I can remember correctly, they've taken like the different little submersibles and taken like a gazillion pictures of it and then remodeled it 3D render. So like without the algae and the coral and all the shit that was growing on it, and knowing what it used to look like when in its when it was a model and when it launched its first and only voyage
in its heyday.
Yeah, and like so when you see that and like it's still the sunken version of it, but like the amount of detail, like they've gotten porthole details and like I don't know if they went inside, but I just remember seeing it pop up and being like, yo, that's dope. Like
it is crazy like how they can
just thinking about the ocean and how many ships, especially like at certain parts, like down in the Caribbean or Caribbean, however you want to. Cause I say Caribbean. Either way, people know what you're saying.
Caribbean.
Yeah, Pirates of the Caribbean, yo. Why isn't it not Pirates of the Caribbean?
Oh, because it's Disney. You gotta be different.
The Caribbean.
Yeah, they gotta be different.
But that down there, they got like mad sunken ships, like by Bermuda and like Puerto Rico, and like, cause that's a port. Like Puerto Rico was interesting when we went down there. We've been twice. I think was it the second time we went down there, we went to El Morro, which is like the big fort structure that they have there's like regular San Juan and like old San Juan. So like old San Juan is where they have this fort situation.
Okay.
And we just happened to stumble upon, we were walking through the fort just looking, because now it's a museum type thing. And Puerto Rico's another cool place for museums. But like this guy was like doing a guided tour, and we just happened to like walk up there so you could hear the history and what the guy was saying. But he was talking about how like how far they could see, and like how far like the cannons could shoot out into the water, or like how much time that they figured that they had to get it together before somebody was coming and running up on them.
Yeah, before somebody ran up in there.
Yeah, and and it's an interesting story about that fort too. Like it changed hands a few times. Like I think the French had it at one point, and then like the Spanish and the British, and then like the British became the Americans, and then we came back and like took the shit back, and they thought there was some fucking curse or something going on because those assholes let their animals drink out of the water that was supposed to be for the soldiers to drink, and then these dumbasses like drink the water and they start getting sick. They're like, "Oh, we're being cursed by the native people." Shut the fuck up.
That's an easy explanation.
It's always like, you ever watch those ghost shows and then they be like, "Oh, it's Indian burial grounds." Oh no, it's like a lot of times I'm like, yeah, that probably is what it is, but it always just feels like why we always just gotta make the indigenous people sound so fucked up.
Yeah,
like,
it's like sensationalized.
Yeah,
it's like a sensationalized of like they're gonna do something to us.
They're gonna put a curse on us.
Like, how do you know the ghosts aren't just chilling and they're just like, can you leave us alone?
Right.
How do you know they're not just like? How do you know that they're not looking at you with your white ass walking up? Because it's always white people on these ghost shows. Really?
Yeah.
It's 99% white.
99%.
How do you know the ghosts of the Indians don't see your white ass coming and they're looking at you like, oh God, they're gonna give us blankets again? Like how do you know they're not scared of you? You know?
Hell no, they probably are. And at the same time, the 99%, then there's 1%. Do you know there's a ghost show called Ghost Brothers?
I was gonna say that. Yeah, there's always good. Yeah.
Yeah, there's one or two, because I think that I've watched all of them. I especially during the pandemic, I was like, oh, I need something to watch.
Binge watch the ghost shows.
Ghost shows, yeah. And, a couple people that in my life that are like, oh, that's bullshit. Oh, it's not real. Oh, that's fine. That's fine. But like, I know that I've seen a ghost. Like, when I was a kid,
what happened?
I was at this farm in Pennsylvania with my mom, and it was like a wedding in summertime, and it was like farmhouse, the quintessential what you would imagine a farmhouse to look like. And they had land, and the wedding was outside, and it seemed, from what I remember, it was a beautiful day. But what I do remember,
like the perfect setting for a haunting.
I'm telling you, so
perfect for some shit.
My mind, I remember this so clearly. I was in the house and I was playing hide and seek with some of the kids. And I was upstairs, and I remember there was like this long hall, and there was all the doors to any of the rooms in this hall were on the right side of me. So I walked up to the first room and I looked in the room, and I remember seeing an old man by the window, and the room was like, it was weird because it was summertime, but like it could have just been that the house was on the shady side of the house, but I remember like the room being various shades of gray, and like the room being a little bit colder. Like I didn't really cross the threshold, but it was like a draft.
Okay.
And the guy didn't have no legs.
Oh.
It was like his upper body and his torso, and then it kind of just faded. And I just remember him being like an older white dude. It looked like he was wearing like a dark colored sweater with like a light colored shirt. Like I saw, and he looked at me. That's the shit that was creepy as fuck.
There we go.
Cause like in my mind as a kid, I was like, oh, it's just some old man in the room.
Yeah.
Right. So I went downstairs. I was playing. I went downstairs, and then I walked up to my mom. I was like, oh, mommy, there's a man upstairs. And my mom was standing with the woman who it was her wedding, and the lady was like, man upstairs. There was nobody who was in the house. Everybody was outside of the wedding except us kids playing around.
Yeah.
She's like, there's a man in the house? And I'm like, he was in the room upstairs. And she was like, oh, okay. And so later, this was like a couple of years later, my mom told me. Because I don't think she wanted to tell me then.
She didn't want to freak you out in the moment. Yeah.
But later she was like, yeah, remember when we went to that party? And I'm like, yeah. And she was like, yeah, so that lady, after you came and told us who you saw, the woman's father had just died in that room like a week before.
Ooh.
And
there it is.
And I was just like, okay.
Yeah, there's the connection back.
It's freaky shit
There
out
it
in the
is.
world, unexplainable people. You know, and it's not unhealthy to try to seek out like other explanations rather than be like, oh, it's coincidence. Because I don't believe in coincidences. B, I believe in ghosts, and C, I believe in motherfucking aliens.
I think that the only thing that I differ from you on that is I do believe in coincidences. I do believe some things just happen, but like ghosts, I mean, like I said, we don't know. We don't know. Nobody's died and then came back a couple years later like, let me tell you what's going on.
That part.
We don't know. And then aliens, I think, yeah, you got how big the universe is. There's got to be something else out there. I mean, supposedly they might be visiting us in, what is it, October, November? There's that thing out in there saying it could be a ship coming to see us.
I saw something about that real quick, talking about 7 miles.
Yeah.
What? But why have I only seen that on TikTok?
TikTok, Facebook, yeah.
Yeah, I ain't seen it on no other place. Who is reporting this?
Yeah, well, it's one guy that saw the thing and then made a meme about it, and then the meme becomes another meme, becomes another meme, becomes another meme. And I always think, though, Reina, I always think with aliens landing, I always think that I hope to God they land in the right spot because that's going to be their first contact.
Bro.
I hope they don't land in like a red county.
God damn it.
Or like can you imagine like they land in like a Trump-loving county?
Bro.
We're done. We're cooked. They're going to annihilate us.
No, they're going to try to deport them. The fuck?
Yeah.
The ICE gonna come, they're gonna like, there's some actual aliens.
You know it.
Dude,
know
like,
it.
but honestly, like, fucking aliens, bro. Like, if they're coming, they already know what they're getting into. Like I couldn't tell you that I would be a person coming from a person or a being or whatever coming from far the fuck across the other side, however universe. I don't even have to fly. I could create a wormhole. Mm-hmm. That means I could listen into every one of your conversations. I could see every single one of y'all motherfuckers that live on planet Earth. What you eat, how you sleep, where you shit, like how you treat each other, like all of that stuff. And then we're in here feeding our own emotions into this thing called the fucking internet that's been keeping track and a ledger of all the human behavior since the internet and social media was invented. So like, if they coming, they already know what they getting into.
Yeah.
And like you said, they might just be like, y'all gotta go. Or on the flip side, they might actually been like, yeah, y'all ready to get y'all heads out y'all asses. So let's
hopefully.
I mean,
but you're right. Like, yeah, aliens, they got a ship that could go, you know, how many million light years across the universe? You think they haven't tracked TripAdvisor? You think they haven't looked us up? Haven't looked
check
Earth
the
up?
reviews
right?
And shit?
2 stars. we probably got worse reviews than a Motel 6.
Hey, yo.
In a bad part of town. Which, then again, I don't know if there's a Motel 6 in a good part of town. If there is, you know, then good job. But, yeah, I think they definitely have scoped us out and would know what they're getting into. I don't know. Maybe I'm arrogant. I always hope they run into me.
Oh,
I
yeah.
hope I'm like the first one they run into.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I'd be like, how you doing? What's going on? How you doing? Lead with respect. What's
Yeah.
going on? I'd go get them like a bacon, egg, and cheese. You know?
Yeah.
That's all we need is somebody fucking it all up, taking them to a vegan spot. And fucking it up for us. I'm gonna get them a bacon, egg, and cheese. You know, I'm gonna show them a Rainforest Cafe. We're gonna go to Jose
You in that
Tejas
damn
for lunch.
rainforest?
Oh, well, I gotta show them some of the best culinary establishments we have out here. We're gonna go to Jose Tejas, like I did for my birthday.
I went to Jose Tejas, but continue.
Recently?
Yeah, for the first time, but continue.
Fantastic. Yeah, we went to Jose Tejas. We put my girlfriend's sister. We brought her for the first time because you got to spread the good word.
Yeah.
About Jose Tejas.
For real.
And then you then have to take that. It's like Pay It Forward with Haley Joel Osment.
Yeah.
You have to then go spread the good word about Jose Tejas to the next group of people and the next group of people. And you ever shown somebody a spot and then you find out that they took their friends and then their friends took their friends?
Yeah.
And you just get that good feeling
Yeah.
in your heart. And then one thing I wanted to say too, this will be my last thing on the Titanic, but another amazing thing, I just was reading it in my notes, is another amazing thing about the Titanic Museum that I learned is the captain of that ship, you know, famously went down with the ship. A lot of people, when they
Yeah.
think of the saying, the captain goes down with the ship, they're
Yeah.
going to think of the captain from the Titanic. And
Yeah.
actually, I want to shout him out because I don't want to just call him the captain. I want to shout out his actual name. So I'm going to look it up here real quick and get his name.
Shout out to El Capitan.
Yeah, Captain, let's just put Titanic. Edward Smith. Shout out to Edward Smith. Edward Smith, the Titanic voyage, he was going to retire. He was a well-decorated captain. He was going to retire. But the White Star Line, who ran the Titanic, said to him that with all your years of experience, we've got this big ship that we want the maiden voyage is going to be a big event. It's a worldwide event. Can you oversee the maiden voyage of the Titanic for us?
That's crazy.
And he said, okay. So he kind of came out of retirement, said, I'll do this for you, and then I'm out. And he told his wife and his kids, he said, this will be my last voyage. And when I'm done with this, I'm going to come home to you and I will retire officially.
Bro.
And we all know what happened to him is that he famously went down with the ship and perished.
And the band played.
And also shout out to the crew members on the Titanic. A large majority or the majority of people that perished on the Titanic were crew members. I think it was over 700 of the 1,500 were crew members.
That's crazy.
And there was, in particular, I read about a group of crew members who dedicated their lives pretty much and sacrificed their lives. They knew they were going to pass and they stayed down there and they shoveled coal into the boilers so that the electricity would stay on in the ship and they could send distress signals.
That's crazy.
Without them, the electricity would have went out as soon as the water went into the bottom, and they wouldn't have been able to send distress signals to the Carpathia, which eventually picked them up. So those crew members sacrificed their lives so that people could get saved. It's going to be gone probably by the time this airs because September 1st it's leaving. But just amazing stories about the people that were on that ship. Amazing things. I will say one thing that I will say is the artifacts that they had. They had like a bunch of artifacts throughout the exhibit, you know, like wallets and rivets and stuff like that, plates and stuff. I think that they were fake. And the reason why I say I think they were fake, they weren't black and white.
Get the fuck out of here.
They weren't black and white. They're not getting it past me. Okay? I see your game. You got color going on. Everyone knows in 1912 the world was black and white. Okay, color came into the picture about 1960, I believe. So anyway, though, I'm full of shit. It was an amazing experience. And the Liberty Science Center, though, was another experience where I was like, damn, shit, how I remember it. And these memories, and I'm putting memories in little finger quotes.
Yeah.
My memories are not, the reality is not what I remember. Like, it really makes me think, did I dream that? Because when we walked in there, again, just like the museum, we walked in, and I remember it being completely different.
Yeah.
As a memory, as a core memory.
Right.
Than how it really is.
Yeah.
Like, insanely different. And how my mind took because they always say that the thing you remember is not how it really happened. It's your last version that you remember.
Yeah.
And it's almost like mental telephone. Like how the thing will start off over here as a certain sentence and
Yeah.
end up as a different one 10 people down. It's almost like your mind does that with your memories each time you remember them. And it's kind of freaky. And this is another experience that kind of brought that, like, damn, what else am I remembering, like, with details that weren't there, or details that didn't happen. And it was just a crazy day. But all in all, I got to say my birthday, my girlfriend made it a great day. Shout out to her. She got me a bunch of great gifts. She got me the shirt I'm wearing now.
Nice.
That we spoke about a little bit before the podcast, talking about wrestling. I'm a big wrestling fan. Was a huge wrestling fan as a kid. And she also surprised me with a cake at the end of the day at her place.
I saw the picture of that cake.
Yeah,
that cake
she
looked
put a
crazy.
little sprinkler in the
Was
middle.
it cannoli
not sprinkler,
on there?
Sparkler.
It looked like a cannoli cake.
No, it wasn't a cannoli cake, but it was fantastic. It was her and her sister both. They surprised me. We went to ShopRite at the end of the day, and they told me, they said, we got to pick up some feminine products. I guess they knew right away. I'm out.
Right.
I'm out. You guys do that. I'm out. I'll go over here. Look at some Gatorades.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
You
guys
love
pick up-
your damn Gatorade.
Yeah, and they got me good because I was right away. I was like, cool, gotcha. No more. I don't need to know anymore. That's all I need to know. You guys don't go do your thing. And I saw them halfway through, and I was just like, you guys almost done? And they're both like, yeah, 5 minutes. And I was in my head, I'm like, how many feminine products they got to get? But I don't know shit about this, so I'm just like, I guess there's a lot going on. And so I was just like, all right, I'll get what I need. And then we went home, and that's what they were doing. They were getting me
Aw,
cake.
That's so sweet,
And,
man.
They put happy birthday, JB the jeweler. I put a picture on the story of our Instagram page at Come Look at This Show on Instagram. If you haven't followed yet, please do. And it was a fantastic day. And it's always nice. Your birthdays are made that much more special when you have somebody that's like celebrating you. Mm-hmm. And it's a beautiful feeling to be celebrated.
Yeah, it is.
And it's just, to have somebody saying, I love you and thank you for everything. And just A1 job by her on my birthday. It was a fantastic day. It's one I'm going to remember for a long time. And I hope that we have many more together.
That's great, man.
And her birthday's coming up in October, and
she set the bar, bro.
She did. I got a few ideas, though. I got a few ideas in my head, and I want to make hers just as special as she made mine. So, just great day. Yeah. 11 out of 10, 12 out of 10.
Nice.
Great day.
Nice.
Highly recommended.
I'm so happy about that, man. I just, it always makes me feel good when people are like good gift givers or like good, like when they know their partner or know their friends or something, that to that effect, where it's just like more than like, oh, here's a card. And like, even if, take that back, if it is just a card, it's something that like, oh, you sat there, you stood there for a few minutes to pick this out for me. Yeah. I can always tell when it's like the generic, and I always appreciate the thought, right? Somebody's thinking of you, okay, cool.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Because they didn't have to do anything.
Right. But if that's like the difference between like you getting me a happy birthday card with like just a smiley face emoji and a cake and say happy birthday versus you getting me like a freaking birthday card with the chest burster and aliens and like, it's happy birthday. Like that one year my wife got me something like that. Exactly.
I guess being like somebody who likes to write themselves, I enjoy, don't just buy me the card and then say to JB, love so-and-so. That's nice. Again, that's nice. Awesome. And that's great. But there's like levels to it. If you go to extra mile and you write something personal in there, I got to tell you, my girl, the card, she wrote literally every space on the card. She wrote me like almost like a 5-paragraph essay.
Aww.
To me and how much she just loves me and cares for me. There wasn't a spot left on the card for another word. And that is, I can't even really articulate how it feels to like have somebody give you something like that. And then all the gifts, I said the Titanic book, the wrestling shirts, all the gifts were stuff that I've told her as we've been together that I loved or was into as a kid. Yeah. And good birthdays that I've had. And it was a great time.
So
I
nice.
did. I had a great day. Um,
Yep.
yeah.
That's nice, man. I'm kind of wondering if my wife has anything up her sleeve, 'cause my birthday is in a couple weeks, I guess, maybe
Okay.
3 weeks. Yeah, T
September
Virgo.
birthday?
Yeah, we over here Virgoing it out. All right, that's it.
Uh-huh.
We got one. Me and JB the jeweler.
Virgo season.
Virgo season is
That's why I
upon
got it on
us.
the chain.
That's it. Is upon us.
Uh-huh.
And but yeah, I'm feeling that the same thing with you, like this maybe a little bit more with the I'm about to turn another year. Oh, what am
Yeah,
I
it could be a
doing with
little
my
rough.
life? Oh, and then it's like, then I never really started looking at old ladies until I'm starting to turn a certain age, and now I'm like, is my chin skin going to touch my chest
It might, yeah,
at
yeah.
some point? And so what are the preventative measures that I can take?
You start looking at those cream commercials at 3 a.m. a little
Hey, yo,
differently.
all of my Facebook feed ads now is hair growth serum, goddamn Korean glass skin mask, face masks,
Yep.
and, all of that. And honestly, like, I know I don't look my age. Like, I'm turning 43. Whenever I tell people that, they're like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
But then I'm just like, what the hell is that supposed to look like? Like,
43,
what is
yeah.
that supposed to look like? Like, when I was in my 30s and telling someone, oh, yeah, I'm 30, whatever, they were like, what? What is that supposed to look like,
Yeah.
younger people? Because, like, I don't really, am I supposed to, like, be like, one step closer to the hover round and
Yeah,
shit,
yeah.
going to the Grand Canyon, hover around?
Oh my God! Look at you still getting around.
Right. Do I need, like, I falling in, I can't get up type
You
shit?
know, life alert.
Life alert.
In the mail.
The fuck, man?
Yeah, people have been telling me they're like, when they hear my age, they're just like, oh, you don't act at all like somebody your age should act.
What is it? What you got?
And I'm just like, thanks. Maybe is that a good thing? Is that, all right, appreciate it, guy. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know, dude.
And I'm you said the Facebook feed is you're starting to get hair growth stuff and
Because I'm looking that shit up now. I got beautiful long locks, and I got a little. My dad's side of the family, a little bit. The pattern baldness sort of kind of goes like, I have a couple of female family members that have kind of had to readjust their aesthetic.
I think they say that it's the opposite gender on your family. So for me, it would be my grandmother, my mother, and then for you, it would be like your father.
No, my dad
then-
definitely had the male pattern baldness for sure.
Yeah.
He's bald, but like he started shaving his head 30 years ago because he was like, what do I look like with a piece of hair wrapped around my head?
Yeah,
Never
the old, right?
Like,
The old
what is
fucking
that?
3 hairs.
Right, he had
or
the
something.
wraparounds. He had the strip going around.
The
The top
horseshoe.
was bald, and looking at pictures of him, like even in high school, it was already going back in high school.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
you should be good then.
So he was-
'Cause yours is good.
Yeah, no, mine's got. I mean, I still got a 5 head instead of a 4 head, but it's it's still 5. I'm not adding an extra finger.
Yeah, every year you got to put your fingers to your forehead.
Yeah.
I'm just happy my feed hasn't turned into looking like the inside of a Popular Mechanics magazine, nothing but dick pills and coin collector ads. I'm just happy that I'm still getting memes and stuff like that. I'm still in the loop with stuff. Although I am at that age, I hate to say it, where like musically, some of the music, and I try to refrain from turning into that old guy that's like, oh, this isn't music, because different strokes for different folks. But I am definitely lost. Like I saw the XXL freshman cover, and I usually know one person on there, and this new one, I'm just like, what?
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like with that, yeah, I think that we're actually, that's one thing that we're actually allowed to be like
Proxy
that.
about.
Because there are people who are older than us who can still appreciate. They literally appreciate the music up until now.
Yeah.
So I know that it's not just us.
Yeah.
At this point, it's not just us. And then I knew that the music was taking a turn when people started being like, I like the beat. Like, I was literally just in the car, just had on like the hip hop station. I guess it was like Amazon Music. What did I put in? So first of all, rewind. I have a nephew and he just turned 10.
Okay.
And for some stupid
Shout out
ass,
to him. Happy
shout
birthday
out
to your
to him.
nephew.
For some ridiculous, insanely funny reason, his favorite song right now is the Cops theme, Bad Boys by Inner Circle. And when I tell you last weekend when he was hanging out with us, I must have listened to that shit 50 times.
There you go. Good for
so
him.
the station was sort of just playing after he was gone and I could listen to whatever I wanted.
Yeah.
The station was playing like their reggae. And then I got in the car the other day, I was like, yo, Amazon Music, play DMX Blackout. Because I love that song. Like, I don't know why. It's just like a nostalgic thing. I think it's because there's no hook. I think it's just the dudes rapping.
Straight
it's just,
through.
Yeah, it's just Locks and Jay-Z
there
and
you go.
DMX just going in.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah. But after I did that, it started sending me like it would be like a couple of reggae, and then it would send me like Dipset and like
There you go.
fucking,
Dipset that was my
that
shit in high
era.
school.
So like that era of rap and hip hop was the last time that like most people cared about lyrics. Cause I think that's what's happening right now. It's like, if the lyrics they're saying it, like I'm trying to struggle to understand what you're saying, and then when I understand what you're saying, cause I'm not that old, like I can understand and I could hear you, Lil Baby, and all of these the other guys. They call the mumble rap and all of that shit. But then when I'm hearing what you're saying, like I can't. What?
Yeah, you don't like the...
It's not even that I don't like it. It's like at some point in time, I have to grow up. And I really do think that like a lot of this music out here, even though it's being fed to us by adults, it's always for kids.
Of course,
it's
yeah.
always for kids, and like that's kind of scary in some ways because now you get like all of the things, and this is for me. It's not even the music. It's like the social media. That shit is the thing that makes me sound old. Man, I remember back in the day when we didn't. But honestly, like I remember when you had to write directions down, bro. Like I feel like our generation, like anybody right now who was like in their 30s, 40s. Or like you not over 50, but like if even if people over 50, but like the part where like
30s and 40s.
We're like this, you're young enough to be like, all of this stuff is cool, and technology changing so fast. And so like we were writing directions. Then you go on MapQuest and print them bitches out.
Yep.
Then you go on Google Maps. Now we got a phone. Remember the first day you discovered that your phone had GPS and the GPS
crazy.
wasn't something that you had to buy in a store?
I was about to say,
fuck?
I remember buying a Garmin GPS system.
Shout out to
and
Garmin.
putting it in high school, putting it in my car, a little 5-inch screen. And I thought I was the man.
You was the man.
I think I paid $300.
You did
for that thing, and I was a man because I had a little GPS in
and
my
you knew
car.
where the fuck you was going. You had to ask nobody.
People be like, "Yo, hey JB, you need directions at the house?" Nah,
They'll put it in GPS.
I'll throw it in a Garmin. I'll throw it in a Garmin. It's no problem.
And
I'll be there on time.
Remember, you could download the voices on that shit. And one of my friends had to fucking turn left, fool. Fucking Mr. T.
Mr. T. Yeah, you
Turn right, fool.
Yeah, Snoop, I think, did one. I remember sometimes those voices would have like such a hard time with some words. I remember that my Garmin used to pronounce McDonald's like a robot that got shot in the throat. Like, it was bad. I remember we were talking about WrestleMania. We used it for WrestleMania. But yeah, I remember like I think our generation was the intermediary.
Yeah.
Between like two generations.
Yeah.
Because we remember what it's like to not have the internet. Like
Right.
I remember when I was younger, the internet was a place in your home.
Right.
There was a place to access the internet.
Yes.
It was on your home computer.
Yeah.
Which for us was a gateway with the cows. And I remember with the big CRT screen, that was the only place. It came out of the wall with a cord. You plugged it in, and the computer is where you accessed internet.
And don't fucking pick up the phone
Don't pick
if
up
I'm
the phone.
on that
I
shit.
think, I don't know. We might have talked about this on a past podcast, but the 56K internet. That's the main thing with some of the like younger kids now that I tell them about, and they are amazed.
Yeah.
Is the 56K dial-up internet.
Yeah.
AOL trial discs. I remember the internet used to decide how much internet you got for the day. And then it would kick you off, and it would mock you on the way out, say goodbye. Goodbye. You're
You
done.
got mail.
I remember the internet was like a last resort because it was so slow.
Yeah.
Like, it was like, I'll go to the library and read in a book something before I got to go on that internet. And when cable internet came out, broadband, the game changed. I remember you used to order a package, that shit would take a month to come. Like, it was crazy. And it's like, yeah, and then we have also seen that go from that to literally now, if the Wi-Fi don't work in the middle of the park, you're like, piece of shit. This piece of fucking garbage. This thing is beaming. Bill Burr said it's beaming to a satellite and coming down to you in a millisecond.
Yeah.
And it takes 2 seconds. I do the same thing. The fuck is wrong with this thing? It's not as garbage. It's crap. And it's like, it's amazing how, like, yeah, I used to be so thankful for the internet, and now it's like it's all around us. And you talking about the music too. I want to say one funny thing is how shit can change, and how music that at one point was seen as like the devil incarnate can then be like accepted completely. Like, it's funny how you'll hear music. Now I'm hearing music that I grew up on that like was like at the time people were like, oh my God, this music. I'm hearing it in the grocery store now.
Yeah.
And like one funny thing is I grew up with, and I'm sure you did too, you know, we're not far apart in age, with Eminem.
Yeah,
When Eminem was coming up, right?
Oh, man.
One of my favorite videos now to watch on YouTube is the reaction videos.
Oh, I love
of
that.
younger generations, to like Marshall Mathers, Eminem,
Oh, God.
right?
Yes.
And both the like horrified reactions, and then the reactions of people that are like, yo, like he could spit. Like, it's crazy, the shit he said and the rhyme schemes. But I remember when the Marshall Mathers LP was coming out, me and my friend Bobby, we were looking it up. We saw it, and I think it was CD Now was the website. CDNow.com would show you when the albums were coming out, right? And the new Eminem album was coming out. And I think this was 2002. So I was in like 7th grade, 6th or 7th grade. And we're like, we're going to get this CD. We already knew we were going to get it from Bradley's, because at Bradley's, they didn't give a fuck. And at Bradley's, you could walk in. They sold parental advisory CDs. And as a 9-year-old, I could pay for it and walk right out with it. They didn't care, right?
Wow.
So you could buy mature video games at Bradley's at 10 years old.
Bradley. Shout out to Bradley's, bro. I remember Bradley's.
Bradley's is where I got all my school clothes and everything. So we already had it ready, right? And we're counting down, and we're super excited. Eminem, Marshall Mathers LP is coming. And I remember my friend Bobby, he got a tape with like some of the songs from the album on it, and we played the shit out of that tape. I remember I used to go to my little brother's baseball games, and there was a school that when the baseball games were going on, there was nobody at the school, so we would go to the school and hang out like in front of, or like it kind of was like the back of the school, and we would hang out there and listen to the Marshall Mathers LP songs on the tape. There were a few Hot Boys songs on there too, Lil Wayne and the Hot Boys, Juvenile and all that, Cash Money, and we used to listen to that. And it was like a week before the album was going to drop. I'm super excited. All of a sudden, MTV has a special.
Oh, yeah, you was telling me about that.
the Marshall Mathers LP and why you should not buy this for your child.
Yeah, dude.
It was an hour-long special, and they emblazoned the lyrics on the screen, and like a karaoke machine.
But the bouncing ball, your life was over.
Went through the lyrics that he's talking about. And honestly, looking back down, I mean, he's talking about some crazy shit.
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't want my 7th grader listening to that. Like, my nephew's 8 years old. You know, he's a few years away from 7th grade. But I would not want him listening to the Marshall Mathers LP. But I remember my parents watched that special in bed one night. And my mom came downstairs, looked me dead in my eyes, and said, "You are not getting that album." I was crushed. I was absolutely crushed. So my little mischievous scheming ass says, how can I get this album?
Oh, you needed it in your life.
I need this album. Kid at my school sold bootleg mixtapes and
Let's go.
albums.
Hustle man.
He was an Asian. I forget his name. He was an Asian kid, and
Of
he
course
had
he
all
was.
the bootlegs and all the mixtapes, and he would burn the CD. And I remember I bought it from him for $8 at school, right after it came out. Little white CD, Marshall Mathers LP written on it, the whole album, and I played it in my Walkman.
He should have wrote Spice Girls on it.
That's what I'm thinking. We were stupid.
The fuck?
We were like, we thought we were slick, but we were stupid. And so, yeah, right. He should have wrote like Spice Girls or Kids Bop.
Yeah.
Or, now that's what I call music or some shit like
Yeah.
that. But Marshall Mathers LP on the little inlet in the case, little booklet. And so I had it, and I'm like, I gotta hide this thing. And so I decided I was going to hide it in this pocket. We got these backpacks from the place where my grandfather worked called Skytop Lodge. It's in the Poconos. I believe it's still there. And so it had this like little pocket on the back of like the front pocket. And I slid it in there and I zipped it in there thinking Mom's never going to find it. It lasted in there for a few weeks. One day I'm swimming in the pool. And I'm swimming in the pool and I'm splashing around. I'm having a great day. Sun is shining. I'm having a fantastic time. All of a sudden, the back door slams open.
Oh, she swung that shit. Pow.
Slams open. And my mom comes out, and there was like a little landing to come out to the back, and then you came down steps and you came around. She steps out on the landing. She looks right at me. She holds the CD in the air. Marshall Mathers LP, and says, Jesse, what the fuck is this? And I stop right in my swim. And I look at her, and I don't think I said a word. I was done. I was caught. You're not supposed to have this, ba, 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 ba. My mom was pissed, rightfully so. And I remember she took that album, and I was just like, God damn, I'm in so much trouble. Fast forward now, 20 years later, my mom is the biggest Eminem fan
Of course she is.
you've ever met.
Right.
She's a bigger Eminem fan than I ever was.
I feel like she probably was an Eminem fan then, but she had to be responsible.
She had to play the role.
Of the, make a responsible parent. There's all supposed to be parenting.
I'm not going to lie. I learned that Marshall Mathers LP CD, she didn't throw it out. She kept it in a cabinet.
Yeah, because she wanted to listen to it.
That you might be onto something. I gotta ask her about.
Yeah, you should ask her. Report back.
Mom,
I want to know.
I gotta ask you, Mom. Were you an Eminem fan back then too? You just couldn't let me know.
No,
because now she I feel like she did become a big fan. Like she's posting Eminem stuff on Facebook all the time, and about like how like the great things he's done and stuff like that. And yeah, I wonder if she honestly, yeah, that's the crazy thing. And speaking of Stan, it's funny, they had me listen to that song. This was back in like the LimeWire days or the Napster days. They downloaded Stan, and my parents literally sat there and listened to Stan with me to like show me how crazy Eminem was and how I shouldn't listen to him, because listen to this song where he's talking about putting his wife in the trunk and driving off the bridge. And I had to sit there and explain to them that he's actually advocating against this type of behavior.
Right.
In this. Like, if you want to pick out a song where Eminem is a crazy guy, you shouldn't listen to him, Kill You is the one. Stan is actually not. Yeah, Stan is actually not the one. Stan is the song that is like him saying, "Yo, listen, I'm just rapping.
Yeah,
this is not reality." Like, but yeah, it's just crazy how things change. People come around, and now I'm appreciating her music. Like now, I'm just as big of a Boy George and the Culture Club fan as she is.
Boy George and the Culture Club, the shit.
That's good music. That's good music. So yeah, it's just funny how things all come back around. And I feel like too. Talking about this, right? Talking about it in retrospect.
Yeah, retro.
How, some people I feel like can't appreciate anything unless it's in retrospect. You ever have a friend like that where they can't like a movie that just came out, they can't like a song that just came out, but you talk to them 5-10 years down the line, they're the biggest fans of it ever. They can't like things in the moment. They have to shit on things in the moment. But then later, I feel like in general, we're in a society now where that is the case. There's very few things that people can enjoy. It's like the first 2 or 3 people
like
say they hate it, and everyone's
sport.
got to hate it. Yeah. Who can hate? Who can be the biggest hater?
Yeah. Who can pick something
most?
apart the most? Like, just enjoy
Just
shit.
enjoy it.
Whatever.
I actually found a list here on what I think it was Business Insider. I think is the Business Insider has a list.
Business Insider
Of the 50 classic films that flopped when they first released.
Oh shit.
That were panned, that were hated. I don't know if I talked about this on the podcast with my girlfriend. She loves the Cat in the Hat movie.
For real?
She loves the
You
Cat
didn't
in the Hat.
mention that.
Yeah, she loves the Cat in the Hat movie. Her friends, they love that movie. And I remember when that movie first came out, it kind of came and went because people shitted on it.
Well, you know I loved it because the first time I ever seen the Cat in the Hat movie, I ate an eighth of mushrooms before I watched it.
I feel like looking back, yeah, that's the only way to watch that movie. Because that shit is a fever dream. But I feel like when that movie first came out, like, it was so universally hated upon that I feel like I remember Israel and Palestine agreeing that it was a shit movie. I feel like that, Reina. I feel like that's how much it was hated on. But she loves that movie. So that inspired me to say, what other movies that we now consider classics are movies that were hated on when they first came out?
I need to know this list because I can't think of anything off the top of my head that I thought was whack before, but I love it.
The first movie, the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Oh, wow.
The Rocky Horror Picture Show was, let's see, this is what it says here. Had a limited release, less than 10 cities when it first came out. And all of the critic reviews were favorable. The film was pulled early from theaters due to low ticket sales. It did not do well at the box office at all. And it became a cult classic through years of midnight screenings.
That part.
With fans and audience members encouraged to interact with the film through call-outs, props, and sing-alongs.
Yes.
So at first, it was considered a huge failure and was pulled from theaters.
That's crazy.
Because it was such a, quote-unquote, failure.
Yeah.
Rocky Horror Picture Show was one of my mother's favorite movies.
Wow.
One of our favorite characters, actually, that my mother used to always quote was Tim Curry's character.
Okay.
What would now be called a transgender woman, but back then they called a transvestite. Okay. Because I specifically remember them singing, I'm a transvestite from Transylvania. And that was, I know, because my mom's favorite character is one of my favorite. That's what you see, honestly, when you look the picture. There's Tim Curry. And, yeah, I mean, now, of course, a classic movie has, revivals, theater revivals all the time. Yeah. But, yeah, did not do well when it first came out. Was pulled early. Let me see another one.
Dr. Frankenfurter.
I remember Meatloaf was in that movie, too.
Yeah, boy, was he.
I remember his ass riding through with his motorcycle.
And Susan Sarandon.
Crazy movie.
Weird.
Crazy, crazy movie. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Dog.
Did poorly when it premiered in 1971. It only made $4 million, not much more than its $3 million budget. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, once it was, and a lot of movies on this list, when they were brought to TV, and were syndicated on TV, is when people fell in love with them. Yes. Same thing with Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Is that it was originally, it was a failure, didn't do well at the box office. But when it was brought to TV, people started to appreciate it. And now, of course, classic movie, has been redone a few times. There's a movie here called The Room. I don't know if you've ever seen that. I haven't seen it. Came out in 2003.
I've heard of it.
Dubbed by many as the worst film of all time.
Damn.
Right, that's pretty wild.
If you say that, that's not gonna make me watch it. Unless 5 or 6 or 10 people tell me, yo, this is good, that you have to watch it. I am very hesitant to invest an hour and 45 minutes into watching a movie.
I think a lot of people are.
And I feel like I didn't used to be like that. I feel like I would watch a movie and then if I wasn't feeling it, I just turn it. But now it's I won't even watch it. I won't even try to watch it because I know I like a certain specific type
can
films.
Feel it out.
Even if somebody tells me this, because I'm thinking about is a Clockwork Orange on that list?
It may be. I'm not gonna lie. That's a movie that a lot of people go crazy over that I do not get.
And I watched that at the most inappropriate age and time in my life, and I feel like 11? I was definitely not legally an adult.
Legally allowed to watch such a film.
That was when I used to go to Florida with my grandmother, and she was living down there. She and my grandfather used to live in Florida, and the Blockbuster was a bike ride away.
Oh God, I miss Blockbuster so fucking
And the
much.
kids, I used to hang out with like the goths and like the punk kids at school.
Okay.
And so they knew about Clockwork. Like one of the kids dressed
Shout
up
out
for
to them.
Halloween, dressed up like the dude.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, the fuck are you wearing?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, it's
With the
Clockwork
fucking
Orange.
crotch protectors.
Yeah,
that
he had the whole situation. I remember he had a patch because patches they making a comeback, but back then, like patches was the thing. Put a patch on your hat and your jacket and your bag, and so he had a Clockwork Orange patch. And I'm like, what is this fucking movie?
Yeah.
And so I rented it, and I was like, what is this fucking movie with this guy like murdering a lady with a dick sculpture, and then an hour later he's got his eyes like peeled open so he could watch all this violence and like desensitize himself to the shit. And I'm just like, some of these movies that are like cult classics or whatever, or kind of like niche, like I don't know, man. Like I feel like I can't even say that it was good. Like I feel like Kubrick always was trying to like push the envelope and like with these different messages and the cinematography and like that. So like I've never been like he invented the Kubrick stare.
It's fun. I know exactly what you're talking about when you say like I don't even know if I could say it was good. I know Reina, I know exactly what you're talking about. I know that exact feeling. Like what the fuck was that I just saw? Like and again, why do people go crazy for this?
Yeah.
I do feel it is also like there are certain movies that are so different, I feel like, that people want to feel like they almost want to show off how intellectual they are by saying like, oh, you didn't get it? You didn't get this film? I love this film. Because that they just gravitate towards the different, to kind of like tout how smart they are, to be honest.
What else is on the list?
Blade Runner.
I was literally just gonna say that. Probably Blade Runner on that shit.
Yeah, but
that's a good ass movie.
Oh
though.
Yeah, Blade Runner is a movie that some would say started one of my favorite genres of movies, games,
100%,
books, which is like dystopian future stuff
with robot people.
I love that genre.
Love that shit.
The book that Blade Runner was inspired by is called "Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep?"
That's right,
and it's a great book.
Oh,
It's a short book too. It's a short little read. I highly recommend it to anyone who's a reader out there. It's called "Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep?" It is one of the first dystopian cyberpunk. That's the genre.
Cyberpunk. Word.
Cyberpunk-esque things. It also speaks a lot on like what makes us human, because it has to deal with androids that kind of blend in with society, and I don't want to give away what it is, but like what is it that makes us human? It actually is very poignant with AI kind of coming into its own, and like what makes it, and the book actually does explain why an AI could never be a human. And again, don't want to give it away, but it's a very good book. But it says here is a visually stunning film. Also, one of my favorite games of all time, Cyberpunk 2077, is a great game that has to do with a dystopian future. And that game,
I heard that game's fun.
Oh, it's a magnificent game. It had a rough launch. A lot of people remember it had a crazy rough launch. It's from the people that made The Witcher 3, which is one of the best games of all time, CD Projekt Red, and they have since dedicated themselves to improving that game and solidifying it as one of the greatest games that's ever made. None of the things that were present at launch as issues are present now. I would recommend
you made me want to dust off the PS, bro.
Anyone who plays games and you got a PS5?
Man, I got other things. I'm grown.
Because I will say that the PS, you need like a PS5 or a computer to run it, but it's a great game. It has this world where like a lot of the issues, like in the game, the corporations run everything. The corporations, there's like 3 corporations that run everything. And people just accept it at that point. Like there have been corporate wars in that game where the corporations fight each other. The government is kind of just like a shadow puppet organization where the corporations really run it. There's a lot of depraved things, like there's things called brain dances that people can, they're virtual reality experiences where you can actually watch them in the game. Well, you can't actually. I shouldn't say you should watch them in the game, but it's part of the storyline,
Right.
where people can buy these brain dance things, and basically what it is, of course, there are like regular movies, regular experiences, but also on the underground, you can watch like snuff films, and it's
wow.
a VR thing,
Yeah.
and you could literally become. It's from the point of view of the victim.
Oh, wow.
And you will experience everything they go through
That's
without
fucked up.
having to actually die.
That's crazy.
Like you could basically experience the point of view of someone dying
That's too much.
without having to actually die, and people are like addicted to watching them,
Yeah,
and
that's a
people
lot.
will like volunteer themselves
That's
to put on the brain
crazy.
dance thing and die. And there's even one mission where a guy is going to make a brain dance. He's a murderer. He's a serial killer, and he becomes religious, and you have to help him because he's going to make a brain dance for this company where he's going to get crucified.
Oh no.
And he is going to experience the crucifixion, and you have to either help him with it and help him atone. You actually go to the homes of the victims, the family members of the victims he murdered, with him, and sit down as he atones for what he did. And also you're sitting with like the CEO or like the VP of the company who just cares about the money. Oh my God, we're gonna make so much money off it. Like, and it just shows like the lack of empathy in the future.
Yeah.
Like this guy's literally gonna like die and put himself on a cross. And all she cares about is the money. And she's like, you better convince him to do it. You better not talk him out of
That's
this.
crazy.
And you can talk him out of it if you want. It's like an open-ended mission.
Oh, that's cool.
And it's crazy. Like
I fuck around and talk. I talk him out of it. Don't do that.
I did both routes, and like you can actually watch it go down.
Nah, I'm good.
Or you could like talk him out of it before he does it, and tell him that's not the way. But anyway, before I could talk about that game all day long, but that is another great film of that genre.
You
And
know what
it's-
that shit reminds me of? Something that I'm actually watching right now is a big like sci-fi nerd. One of the movies that I fell in love with as a kid. Don't ask me why. I think it's the creature design was Alien, and so now, fast forward however long it's been since the first one came out. We're talking over 40 years since the first film came out.
Yeah.
Or maybe even more than that. Now they have a series.
like an Alien series.
Yeah, it's called Alien Earth.
Oh, I've heard about that. Yeah,
And,
I've
like,
heard about that.
Again, back when we were talking about everybody wants to be an expert hater
Yeah.
and shit. But like overall, like I don't give a shit what people say. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah.
And
As you should.
The show
As you should.
being
Fuck
a
what they
show like in the same kind of world, and you know, people are trying to like put them chronological, like when happened what, but like
Yeah.
let's just kind of like put that over here and understand, like in this series on Earth, like this ship had been out in the space for however long. They collected like I forget how many different specimens of like alien creatures. So it's not just the alien that we remember seeing from H.R. Giger artwork till they made this alien creature with
Yeah.
the dome head and all of that
Yeah.
shit.
It's called a xenomorph. Is that the name for
Xenomorph,
it?
yeah. So we not only just have a xenomorph, now we have like these other creature / monsters that are on this ship, and then something happens to the ship and the ship crashes
Of
on
course.
Earth in the middle of a city. And so in this world, on this new Earth,
Yeah.
there's 4 corporations that run shit, and they're all vying for superiority. But the main driving motivator or the driving factor is that like people don't want to die. And so now you have different classes of people. You have like cyborgs
Yeah.
who are like humans, but they have additional like synthetic added to them, so they're
Okay.
both. Then you have your purely synthetics, which are just like exactly what it is. And then you have this new thing where they basically are taking a consciousness of a human being and putting it into a synthetic, so basically so you could live forever. And so
Okay.
we have like this happening. So I just feel like there's always like Black Mirror has a transhumanism theme. There's a movie with Johnny Depp that's Transcendence or something.
Yes.
It's about the same. I've never watched it, but I knew that was the concept of it.
That's a decent movie too. I would recommend that one.
It's just one of those things where it's like, you know, I feel like human beings, as much as like rom-coms are cute and like all these, like we talked about this shit before, like when I was brought up that movie Cloud Atlas. Like if I'm gonna invest at least an hour and 45 minutes into watching something, or 60 minutes or 45 minutes, like I'm gonna need you to stimulate my mind.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
I need to
yeah.
think a little. Like if it's, fucking the quiz with balls, like I put that shit on if I'm just doing something.
Yeah.
Right. And even though it has trivia involved, it's not like, so that's my thing. I watch true crime shit, I watch game shows, and I watch and documentaries or like sci-fi movies. Like
Yeah, that's
you
not a bad
hardly
list.
ever catch me watching a comedy movie. You would think that I would watch a lot of comedy movies, but I feel like there's just some shit that seems so forced. That's why, like, if I'm gonna watch comedy, I actually like to watch stand-up. Or like, that show, they still have it, I guess. Was whose line is it anyway? I fucking love that.
Is that show still going
The
on?
Improv. I don't know, but like, shout out to the one of the greatest, most underrated dudes out here, and that's the Charlie Murphy. What's the guy? What's his name? Oh man, I'm fucking drawing a blank. It's that mental brain. It's that 43, about to be 43-year-old
Wait,
brain fog.
Are you talking about
I'm talking about
someone other than Charlie Murphy?
Yes.
'Cause, I mean, shout out to Charlie Murphy.
Shout out to Charlie Murphy, but I'm talking about. Oh my God, what the hell is his? He was on Whose Line Is It Anyway? He's the best one.
And he was like with Charlie Murphy?
No, but he did this whole thing. He was playing like a complete opposite of like the type of person that you think that he is. He could sing, he could dance, and
Wayne
he's funny.
Brady?
Yes, Wayne Brady
Wayne
is
Brady.
probably one of the most underrated, most talented dudes. Period, bro.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And the stupidest show proved that to the world if the world watched, and that was The Masked Singer. Like,
Okay.
when I was watching The Masked Singer when it first came out, it was the second season, so you kind of got through the kinks of the first season. I think it was the second or third season. This fucking dude was dancing and singing perfectly in a Fox costume. And everybody like, oh, is it Jamie Foxx? No, that's too obvious. And it was just like, we
Motherfucking
already know
Wayne
that
Brady.
Wayne Brady is funny. We already know that he could do improv. But now he up here, and we knew he could sing.
Yeah.
But like, to be singing in a costume on stage, that you're hot, there's lights, you can't see, you can't fucking turn your head real proper. It's just, I was like, this is the stupidest thing, but this is just proving that like, Wayne Brady is probably
talented he
one
is.
of the most underrated fucking talented dudes out
I know.
there.
For me, I mean, I remember the Chappelle Show skit.
That's what I was
Wayne
thinking.
Brady.
I was thinking about that.
That's what I remember. Is Wayne Brady gonna have to choke a bitch? Like I remember, like he had the beauty and the genius too, like of that show, was of course the commentary on like social issues, racial issues, but it was also like the callbacks to old jokes, because that sketch came from, he had Paul Mooney on the show, who used to like answer questions in like his way.
Yeah.
And I remember one time on the show, he said that Wayne Brady makes Bryant Gumbel look like Malcolm X. And then a few episodes later, Wayne Brady is hosting Chappelle's show for Chappelle, quote unquote.
Yeah.
And that's when the sketch came out where like him and Dave are hanging out, and like he's riding around with Wayne Brady, and Wayne Brady's doing his thing, and he's just being upbeat, happy Wayne Brady. And then he's like, hold on, Dave, I gotta stop somewhere real quick. And Dave's like, all right, Wayne, cool. And then Wayne Brady's like, all right, man, just chill for a second. And he pulls his truck and he's out in front of the club, and Wayne Brady comes out the side of the window with the AK, and they're just like, break yourself, fool, and just lights up this dude right in front of the club. And then comes back in the truck just like, so what's up, Dave? What's going on tonight, man? Like right back to Wayne Brady. And Dave's just like, dude, what the was that? And then like at a certain point, Wayne Brady looks at him and he's just like, so I make Brian Gumbel look like Malcolm X, huh, motherfucker? And like that whole sketch just kind of, for me, remember seeing that. And I think for a lot of people, it was like showed the versatility of Wayne Brady.
Yeah.
And like how talented that man is. And that's just, every time I think of Wayne Brady now, I think of that sketch on Chappelle's show.
And part of me feels like, and this is a little bit like off of the Holly Weird conspiracy deep end, I honestly don't think that he was trying to go to any baby oil parties or any type of situations.
I don't know.
And
him,
I say
so.
that
I don't,
reason
I was about to be like, no, of course not, but I don't know the guy.
I don't know, but I guess the reason I say that is because, like, it seems as though the people that are in entertainment who do not want to drink the Kool-Aid or who do not want to, quote unquote, sell their soul, figuratively or literally or whatever you want to call it, it's always like they can only make a certain amount and they can only do a certain amount of shit.
Yeah.
Because, like, for example, last summer, or maybe 2 summers ago, I noticed that the artist Maya was performing at this club that's right near here. And I'm like, Maya.
Me and my girl, I was just putting my girl onto some Maya.
And I think
My
she even
love is
said,
like, whoa,
yeah,
that song.
Maya
that's
was
a
a
banger.
great artist, and if I remember correctly, she actually said it was maybe one of those like little memes or something floating around. Like she was like, there was just certain things that I did not want to do. Mm-hmm. There were certain things that I did not want to be a part of.
Yeah.
And people, and I think I said this before. Oh, so they fell off. Nah, yo, like people just don't want to. Like it's not all of that. Like having millions and millions of dollars might seem all right, but I knew a guy who was a Wall Street millionaire, and this was back. This is some years ago. I was living in Brooklyn, and he was like, I had everything. I had a wife. I got millions of dollars, but he's like, I was still miserable.
Oh yeah,
like you don't you gotta fix your insides, and like not be a shitty person, in order for you to really like say, because that million is never going to be enough, and because you're gonna think like, oh, I need more to make me happy.
You're gonna get used to it. You're gonna plateau. I mean, that's the hedonic treadmill. I
love that.
There's a documentary called Happy on Amazon that is about an hour and a half, and it speaks on that. It's about happiness, and it's about like the hedonic treadmill, and it's about how that term actually came from people who won the lottery, and how they studied people who won the lottery, and how they would win the lottery. They would get that spike of happiness because they have all this new money, and then they would check on them a year later. Their happiness level, or I don't even like the term happiness, right? Because people, how do I get happy? How do I seek happiness? I just want to be happy. Happiness is a emotional spike. It is not a state of being. Right. Happiness is an emotional spike. You get happy usually because you're doing something that's good for your survival. You get happy you get a dopamine release. Right. You get from sex, from a food you really like, from doing something that's good for your future or good for your health, exercise. You get a dopamine release, you feel happy. But that dopamine release is always going to go down. Happiness is not a state of being. It is much better to seek peace, in my opinion. Don't chase happiness, but chase peace. And what it talks about is basically the happiest, and again, I like the word peace better, the most peaceful people on earth. And it's fun. The guy in the documentary who was literally ranked as the happiest man on earth was a rickshaw driver in India that lives in poverty.
That makes sense.
With his family. Yeah. And he's literally the happiest because he's grateful. Yeah. He's grateful for what he has. And just like you said, it doesn't matter how much money you get because there's always going to be more. Oh, I'll be happy, or again, as I like to say, I'll be at peace when I get this relationship. I'll be at peace when I get this job. I'll be at peace when I get this amount of money.
And never
so
comes.
on and so forth, right? And even if it does come, you get it, you get used to it. And there's always going to be the next thing. So don't ever rely on the destination. Don't make peace a destination. Make peace part of your everyday. Make it an effort. And one of the main things you can do for that is just be grateful. Because you start making $100,000 a year, guess what's going to happen? You're going to live a $100,000 a year lifestyle. And then you're going to start looking at people. You're going to start meeting different people. And you start meeting people that make $500,000 a year. Right. And you start looking, oh, wait. I thought I'd be happy at 100,000, but 500,000. I'll go for 500,000.
Right, and that's that envy and like the coveting and
it just goes, and then okay, I'm at 500,000. I'm happy for a little bit, and then you know what? This is kind of boring now. A million. I'll go get $1 million because you never actually you never sought peace internally. You're seeking it externally. And
Yeah.
so I forgot how I got off on this tangent, but
No,
I'm
you're
glad
good.
you brought it up because, yeah, I think that is, again, the documentary is Happy on Amazon. It's very interesting. And it talks about the hedonic treadmill and how, yeah, like it's okay to chase goals and to go after things, of course, but don't rely on them that's when I'll be at peace because your life is going to go by.
Yeah.
And you're going to have kept on chasing peace and you're never really going to find it because peace comes from within.
It sure does.
It does not come externally.
And that's and that's also, like you said, like it's a daily thing, and like, you know,
Yeah, and it's tough too. I'm over here speaking like I do it every day. It's fucking tough. Don't
No,
get me wrong.
but it's one of those things. Like if you're aware that I always think happiness, or I like the way you put it, peace is a choice. Like it's also like
Definitely.
a choice, you know, because we can get caught up. Like I'm the first one, you know, to say, yeah, I get caught up in my emotions and negative emotions sometimes because,
Of course.
you know, there's, you know, I'm a sensitive person, and like, you know, and it's so easy to go down that road, and then like your whole life becomes like in your head, like muttering or whatever, mulling over things that like piss you off or like don't make you happy, and then you know you just start seeing everything that pisses you off versus, like you said, the gratitude. You know, it's literally a spiritual and physical state. Like they were measuring brain waves of people who choose to be peaceful, and people who choose to really gratitude, and like having, like they were saying, if you're having a bad day, like name 5 things that you're grateful for. It actually changes like the way that your brain starts, you know, functioning in the moment. You pull yourself out of the bullshit, you know. And I say that as I say it to myself because I,
of course,
you know, either it's part of the human experience, you know. But the best part of the human experience that, you know, I like the hedonistic treadmill, and you know, it's a first world problem to not have the things that I like to eat, but because I'm so grateful that we live in this place and have the means to kind of get whatever type of food
we want at any time.
Jose Tejas was motherfucking delicious. Okay?
Right.
And I did not know.
Great segue, by the way.
That shit was Cajun and Tex-Mex.
Oh, yeah.
Like I walked in there thinking, oh, it's like Tex-Mex plays. It's going to be big ass margaritas. And then, you know, we get in there and it's this wide open room with all this little cute little things like,
they got,
you know, free beer tomorrow or whatever it say.
To me, it literally, I mean, I've never been in the Old West, but it looks like if you went to, I guess, a cantina.
Yeah, or a saloon.
It kind of looks like it would be one, you know?
Yeah. So let me tell you what. So we got there, sat down, whatever, and first we got the shrimp appetizer. It was like a little spicy, I guess, a little shrimp.
Okay. And you get free chips and salsa.
Oh yeah, the chips come out warm, bro. So they back there making them.
And they are on top of the chips too. Yeah, they're looking. You don't got to ask.
And they dressed like in a uniform because I was thinking, they
white
gonna
uniforms.
Yeah, like I thought it was gonna be like, your little T-shirt, the Jose Tejas T-shirt. No, they take it serious for some casual dining.
It's a hell of a juxtaposition between the decor of the restaurant and then the service staff.
But I think the service staff is a touch from, even though I've never been to New Orleans. Yeah, I think that's what that's from. Because of the Cajun part. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of the restaurateurs down there and the places. But so we got the shrimp, and so then my wife, she got the fajitas, but she got the beef and the chicken, so she got a little bit of both. But she turned that beef up. But I'm looking at this menu, and I'm like, they got Cajun food, and like I was just talking about it wasn't jambalaya. It was the other etouffee. I was literally thinking, man, I ain't had no etouffee and I don't even know how long.
I've never had it before.
And
I didn't even know they had it on the menu.
They have chicken etouffee. And they fry them little pieces of chicken before they put it in there and smother it with that sauce. And when I tell you that I know for a fact that there was an entire stick of butter in my bowl.
Oh, you know it. Of course.
Like that's, anybody ever watch Anthony Bourdain when he put Oprah?
I was going to say Anthony Bourdain said it, didn't
he? It starts with butter, middle with butter, ends with butter. So don't be all low fat.
He said there's any restaurant you go to, there's at least a stick of butter in every dish.
Everything. That's what makes it taste good.
Yeah.
Especially you messing around with any type of European cooking. Yeah. Fucking forget it. It's rich food. Man, that Jose Tejas the chicken etouffee was like, first of all, when they bring it out a little bowl, I'm like, damn, I don't eat all of this. But it wasn't that deep of a bowl. It was actually a perfect portion, but I did take it home with me because I was already stuffed off the mocktail. I got some like coconut little mocktail shit. And I got the shrimp and the chips. And then here come the etouffee.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, goodness. And I start eating that, and it literally was like, you know what something is like, I told my wife, I was like, yo, if they had put one more dash of salt in this, it would have been too salty. It was like perfect. Like, I was like, yo, I can't even, I almost want to go back and get the exact same thing to see about the consistency. Because that's the shit with any fucking restaurant, even if it's not a chain, but people go there all the time. Like, you know, you got different chefs, but like that's the mastery, right? Of like restaurant business, like having the chefs cook the shit exactly the same way every time.
Yeah,
like,
Reina, I will put my life on the line. Jose Tejas is going to come correct every time.
Corrections.
Every time. They're going to come correct every time.
Wow.
And I like how you said the portion size.
Yeah.
Is always, it's just the right amount.
Just the right.
It's just, we say it because me and my girl, we clean our plates every time we go.
Yeah.
And it's just the right amount.
Yeah.
Like, it's just before we would feel disgusted with ourselves because the amount of food we put in our body. But it's like, but there's also never anything left over. The price point is great.
Great.
And also, tell me that food doesn't come out fast as shit.
Fast.
They will have that food on the table before you even finish
your appetizer,
placing your order.
Shut up.
That food will be on the table. You know, we timed it on my birthday because I cracked that same joke. And my girlfriend's sister, Danny, shout out to Danny. I joke around and say that she's DB the jeweler. Or DC the jeweler. She says DB. I don't know why she says DB. I got to ask her that. But she timed it. From the time we placed our order to the time our entrees hit the table, 8 minutes.
Wow.
8 minutes.
Yeah.
You will be in and out of there comfortably in 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Comfortably. And you have enjoyed yourself. And the drinks. They give you a big old drink. That's what I hate. I hate when you go to a restaurant and they want to skimp on the drinks.
Oh, yeah. Or it's mostly ice.
Oh, God. Yeah, they want to give you some slim little glass.
Oh, yeah. And then the slim glass as thick glass. So it's slim and thick at the same
there's
damn
about
time.
10% actual drink in there. Not Jose Tejas. Jose Tejas brings you a damn near a barrel on the table for your drink, okay? Very rarely do I need a refill at Jose Tejas, and I will tear a drink up at a restaurant.
There you go.
I get a strawberry lemonade wherever I can go. Their strawberry lemonade is amazing.
I'm
one of the people that takes a bite of some food, takes a sip of my drink, bite of my food, sip of my... I'm a very methodical eater. And I'm also a tour eater. I like to do a little bit of this, 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 then a little bit of this, a little bit of this, a little bit. I go around. One of this, one of this, one of this, one of this, one of this.
Yeah.
You know, some people like, I don't know how people, those psychopaths do it that eat like the mashed potatoes and then the green beans and then the chicken, like one after the other. Like, or they'll eat like, I know I just said psychopath. It is kind of how our relationship began. But my girl, I think, maybe I'm wrong, and if I'm wrong, then she could smack me in the
You could be wrong
back.
and not get smacked.
I don't want to get smacked in the face, but smacked in the back. I'm pretty sure she eats her sandwich if we go to like McDonald's. She eats her burger and then eats her fries next.
Oh.
Like one after the other.
Yeah.
I don't know how people do that. I'm eating a bite of the sandwich, a little bit of fry. Bite of the sandwich, a little bit of fried drink. Then so anyway, I'll tear that drink up. And usually I don't need another drink from Jose Tejas. So I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm glad you now know about the resplendence.
Yeah,
that
me
is
and my
Jose
wife
Tejas.
we look kind of picky little foodies now.
Oh, that's gonna be your spot.
Yeah, no, I like it, and I've driven past it so many times, but it does say Jose Tejas. It just says eat. It's
just says
big
eat.
ass sign. It says eat. And I always wondered what the hell is that? Driving, okay. And I guess I'll figure it out one day, and then and then you tell me, and someone else before you told me years ago, and I've been like, have it in the back of my mind. And, like I said, we kind of have our spots that we go to. Yeah, you like ramen, don't you?
I like ramen to a degree. Because if you're going to recommend a ramen spot, I'm one of those. I'll be down. Honestly, I don't know why. I'm one of those people. I'm like, really. I'm so used to eating cup noodles for my whole life.
Yeah.
That I'm like, am I really gonna pay like $10, $12
The grown
for the
folks
same
ramen
stuff?
is different, bro.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
my girl just had like some ramen that she really enjoyed.
well, it's this place. Shout out to Kenya Ramen. They're actually around the country. So if you live in a city with a Kenya
Kenya ramen.
Kinya, Kenya Ramen.
Okay.
It's fantastic. And they make all the broth batches that morning.
Okay.
And they do it like hours and hours process, and you could taste the difference.
You taste the difference
of
in it?
like, you know me. I love me. I'm like you. I love me little oodles and noodles packet. That's what we call it, oodles and noodles.
Tried and true.
With
It's
a little
been there for me.
packet. You know what I'm saying? Like cook it like that. But like this spot when they give you the marinated egg, you got meat in there.
They usually put
You
like
got-
pork in there too.
Sometimes
right?
if you could get the pork
Slice
one.
of pork right on
Yeah,
top.
they put multiple slices.
Okay.
And then I get the chicken or the beef. The beef, my wife loves the beef ramen, but they also have these wings there. They have like the spicy garlic wings, and then they got like the honey garlic wings. I want to drink that sauce.
Yeah, I'll
like,
say the wings at a lot of Asian spots can be off the chain.
yeah, you know,
Like-
we taught them how to do wings now. That's what happens.
Yeah.
One of the few positive outcomes of war. You know,
Is the exchange of foods?
oh yeah, that's why you go to Jolly Bee,
Yeah.
where it's like a fucking Filipino fried chicken
And they got
spot.
spaghetti
It's
in that
spaghetti,
motherfucker,
right?
yeah.
What the hell is what?
How did yeah?
'Cause of
You're
war.
Right. You're right.
That's why.
Yeah, you're right.
People like, oh, I need my whatever I have at home. Same shit with Panda Express. You know, Panda Express invented Mandarin Orange chicken.
Yeah, they did
because it
I
was
saw
America.
That on the History Channel
Yeah,
the other night.
they had some
did.
other cool show. Was that Andrew Zimmern guy that used to go around eating everything? Oh no, it wasn't Andrew Zimmern. It was the other. Oh, it was the other guy, the Man versus Food guy.
Yeah.
yeah. So he had the show, and he would go around like talking about different food stuff or whatever. But yeah, that
I
man.
think it's the foods that built America.
Maybe yeah.
I think that's the yeah. I love that show.
Yeah, that show's great.
I love that show.
I
And
love
yeah,
that.
Orange chicken.
Orange
yeah.
chicken. Shout out to my man from Panda Express.
Mm-hmm.
You know, being Asian. So for y'all that feel like, oh, Panda Express isn't real Chinese food, a Chinese person started Panda Express
Uh-huh.
and dumbed it down for our little piddly ass.
Exactly.
Because you go to China and that Chinese food out there ain't shit like what we have here. Like my wife talking about when she was in China, the first few days that she was in Hong Kong, she ate lettuce and rice. Because everything else was like, what the fuck is this? Why is it jiggling? What is this fermented situation?
Isn't that amazing? You just said, Panda Express was started by an Asian guy.
Yeah.
And then you got, Molly over here trying to say it's not real Asian food. How dare you?
How dare you, Molly?
Reina, I might start a new segment on this podcast called How Dare You?
How dare you?
With JB the Chula.
I love that.
How dare you? Okay, the nerve. All right, shut your mouth.
The audacity.
Shut your mouth. An Asian man started Panda Express. You can tell him. You can tell him that he's not Asian. Go for it. All right. That's a real conundrum for you
Right.
there, Molly.
Molly.
All right, Rebecca. You need to shut it down and enjoy the food. And one thing that I will, maybe this will be the first one. Okay. This is something we spoke about this real quick.
How
right?
dare you?
How dare you? The other day, I'm gonna speak about lanternflies. And I heard you're not the biggest fan of them.
No, they be pissing everywhere on everything.
I heard that you're not the biggest fan
Fuck
of them.
outta here.
Honestly, if they're pissing on shit, I get it. Right? That's
Yes.
just rude.
Yes.
But the other day, there was a lanternfly on the ground. Someone that I'm with points to me, says, "Oh God, a lanternfly! Kill it!
Yeah.
Kill it!
On site.
Kill it!" How dare you? How dare we?
Bro, them bitches
I
don't
left him
belong here.
alone. First of all, he's minding his own business. He's minding his own business.
Yeah, he didn't get asked to get brought here.
I said he's minding his own business. I'm gonna leave him alone. And she said, kill him. I said, why am I gonna kill him? He's minding his own business. She said, 'cause they kill the trees. I looked her dead in her eyes and I said, so do we. How dare you? So do we. Have you met us?
Yeah.
Have you met us?
That part.
Really? We're going to get mad at him because he kills the trees. We take out whole forests in one day.
That part.
We're the ones? No, we need to back up on this one, okay? We need to sub that contract out to some deers or some beavers and tell them to take care of the lanternflies.
The birds figured it out.
They're the ones, okay? We are not the ones. We need to encourage the birds because as human beings, I'm going to go up to him and go, hey, bud, I got to take you out because you're killing the trees. He's going to look back at me like, are you fucking serious? Have you looked in the mirror lately? You ain't the one, bud. And he'd be right.
Right, 100% right. Not the one.
So like I said, we need to tell the birds or something because we are not the ones to be out here. So I just thought that when she told me to kill that lanternfly, I personally, like I said, I just look at it as, hey, we're both kind of doing the same thing. We take out the trees just like them. And we're going to get mad about them. We get about that about a lot of things. How like invasive species.
Yeah.
We're the most invasive species there's ever been on this planet.
True.
Is us.
True.
So we're both kind of fucking up here. So honestly, I would rather sit next to the lanternfly, light up a cigarette, and go, so we're both kind of fucking up, huh? We both kind of suck, huh? That's much more comfortable for me, Reina. And that's the end of the first. I just want to speak on that real quick.
The first segment of How Dare You.
Of How Dare You. I might make that a weekly thing because there's
I like that.
Some things I see that people get opinionated about. And maybe I'll probably even throw myself in the pan a few times because there are a few times where I start rambling on and I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. And I think to myself, how dare you? How dare you?
How dare you?
But then again, I've been right a couple times. So it's a double-edged sword.
As your name implies, you just dropped another gem. Listen.
Thank you.
You know, we're all lanternflies out this bitch.
Yes.
We're cute
when we're lanternflies.
We're cute when we're tiny. Like cute little aliens.
And we piss all over things.
Piss all over things.
Right.
You know? And then when we get and when we get big, we're red on the inside.
Maybe I need to sit next to him and be like, we both need to cut this shit out.
Cut it out.
We're both going to look like Ben Stiller in that one picture when he's got the cigarette in his hand. And we're both going to be just like, we need to cut this shit out. And I also, before we go, I know it's probably coming to the time soon. I want to say shout out to my brother on my birthday for giving me a call, talking to him. He's a longtime listener. He's listened since the beginning. He listens with all his buddies. He's out there doing electrician work. Shout out to every one of his buddies he works with, co-workers. He always tells me he loves the episodes, that he can't wait to them. He says he listened to them multiple times.
Nice.
And he dropped a gem on me in a way when he called me. I was telling him all the things my girlfriend was doing for me. And he said to me, he said, Jess, he said, I know you're known as JB the Jeweler and you're known for dropping gems. He said, but I think with her, you might have picked one up.
Yeah, bro.
And I would have to definitely agree with that. So, again, shout out to everybody from you to the coworkers to people on Facebook that I haven't seen since high school. I know you're probably just doing it because I sent you a message, but I still appreciate it. Shout out to everyone for wishing me a happy birthday. Shout out to all my family. And I'm just blessed to be here for another year. And, you know, every year I kind of also walk cautiously into the new year. You know, I'm in my late 30s now. So it's like every year I'm just like, is this where it all goes to shit? Is this, you know, every little tweak? I'm just like, so now I call, you know, when you're a little kid, you kind of run freely into the new year. Now I enter cautiously. I enter every new year like a rookie fighter entering the octagon for the first time.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like, I could get the shit kicked out of me this one. Hope not. Could happen. But I hope it's just another good one. I hope we got good things coming here. And yeah.
Oh my God.
What's up?
So I forgot to tell you this story. And
Okay.
then we'll wrap it up.
All right. Yeah.
I went out of town recently to do a show. And I've been wanting to tell you this for 2 weeks. So I was like, no, we gonna wait. Because I want you to just hear it the first time.
I'm ready. I'm here for it.
Bro, so I went to this festival out in the Midwest. And I was like headliner, you know.
Okay.
See my name on there.
Headliner.
Everybody's like, oh, it's Reina. Oh my God.
You deserve it.
You know. I appreciate.
You put on a good show. I saw you perform at Crossroads. Yeah, you put on a good show.
Thanks, man. And I appreciate, you know, being able to travel and share my music.
It's a blessing.
And in this particular place was like a camp out festival,
Yeah.
right? And of course, because I was going to another state, I had to like. I took my gear, but I didn't take my camping stuff. So they had a tent pitched for me and everything. So it was like that. And this particular space, there's it's like a land that's owned by women. And so when they ever have festivals there's like a crew of women that basically live on this land for the duration of the summer. And these different festivals that come in and out, but they're the ones like doing the trash, like driving the little shuttle things. Yeah, so one of my homies, is a worker out there. So she was posted up, and she had like the living room. Now like camping, I'm like, oh, we gotta have a living room to go camping. A living room and a tent. So it's like a chill area. So anyway, I'm chilling in her living room, and it was like, they got like the porta potties,
of course.
and it was, and then there's like a water spigot next to like the porta potty a bank of porta potties for you to wash your hands. That's also water that you could drink. So if you wanted to like fill up bottles, whatever like that. Some women go over there and like they brush their teeth, but there's no sink. It's just a spigot that's coming out of the ground. Like
real
like
old
that.
School.
So my homie says, and I hear this from 2 different people, not one but 2. This particular day, homegirl sitting in the chair in her tent, in her little living room, just chilling. And this woman comes out of the porta potty. Door, kaboom, slam behind her. And she walk over to the spigot to wash her hands.
Okay.
Then she wanted to lift up her skirt and start splashing the cootie.
Oh, God.
And then she want to bend over, and she probably put her whole bunghole on the spigot. Like, we don't know, but like, my friend was like, sufficiently, bro. Like, they after she was done, and she was like, this was like her personal bidet. Like, she was just splashing all up in there.
She was really giving that cho-cha what for?
She was trying to be the fresh up fresh poom poom.
That's why we can't have nice things.
Can't have nothing. And we're in the woods, but there's showers, bitch. Like, we're showers. So if you really want there's showers there. But she over here with her cootie on the damn spigot. That shit, to me, it became the fucking booty faucet.
That's gross.
That like so my friend immediately after that, and it's funny because she saw it, and another woman who was maybe about 20 yards away in her own fucking living room saw the same shit, and they both had the same reaction. Did I just see that?
Yeah. It's almost it's unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
So my friend, in true form,
it's an unbelievable lack of decency.
It's pure. She took her 7th generation wipes and went over there and wiped that whole shit down, but she was like, I am no longer getting drinking water from this faucet. That is for hand washing.
I don't blame her.
And she tells granted, we don't know how many times this woman has done it. This is probably the first time anyone's seen her in the wild.
Exactly, right? It's like a DUI. Someone gets caught for a DUI. They've done it like 10, 15 times before. This is just the first time she got caught, like you said.
I'm convinced that most of the spigots out there that week had been booty doused. Like, she just, I couldn't believe it.
That's like villain activity. Honestly, I should have made the segment about her. Man, how dare you?
How dare you? That's my how dare you.
How dare you?
How dare you, miss? But,
you don't put your ass on the spigot. Don't put your ass on the spigot.
The booty hole.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
There's always got to be one.
It is what it is.
I'm going to start saying that to people that like kill the vibe. You just came in the room, put your ass on the spigot. You had the nerve. It was going good. It was clean. It was pure. You came over here and you put your ass right on the spigot.
Booty spigot. Hey, yo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was put water in a bottle and then like splashed it.
That would have actually been more effective if she had a sport cap bottle.
Yeah.
That would have been even like your own personal bidet, but no.
Exactly. But then again, the nerve of me, I'm over here a fucking dude telling a woman how to clean out her vagina.
I'm a woman telling her that the fucking...
To myself.
How dare you, but the sport cap shit solve all of them problems.
Yeah, I'm sure there's ways.
Hey, yo.
You don't need to go right up to the drinking water spigot. That's
it's
a shame. You hate to see it.
I hate to see it. And I don't want to see it. And you best believe I told everybody.
Of course, you got to.
I wish that I had known who it was.
Yeah.
And I wish that on stage I could have said, and to the woman who put her bunghole on the spigot, how dare you?
How dare you?
And with that, We'll catch you on the next episode of Somebody Come Look at This.